Now, this doesn't have every bell and whistle that you would expect or want, but it has the basics. You know, it's got an HDMI out, it's got two USB slots that, yes, you can work with wireless Saturn pads. But most importantly for me, it's got a VGA out. And, you know, I can save an HDMI slot now. I'll plug it in via VGA. The television I have is an older but pretty high-end plasma with a VGA input. And I'm telling you, it looks terrific. So I'm leaving it plugged in that way for the near future. Another bonus was the built-in light, you know, the slow-changing color light. If you know me and know I love colored lights, man, so that was definitely a bonus. But check it out. I mean, there's literally hundreds, thousands of games on this thing, from the 80s, 90s to the 2000s and beyond. So it's pretty easy to find what you're looking for. And that's like the closest I'll ever come to opening an arcade. You know, I kind of like put myself in the atmosphere and the age and the era and whatever, you know, being some 16, 17-year-old guy, you know, showing up at the arcade in the morning to open up shop and turning everything on and seeing a bunch of these different kinds of screens and these RAM and ROM checks and whatnot. You know, again, it's attractive to me. I mean, it just takes me back and makes me think, hey, that's what the arcade guy was seeing every morning. You know, so it just puts me in that time and place, which it's fascinating, really. Now, aliens, right? I myself am pretty much a student of the Alien franchise, especially the first three movies. So there's really nothing about the first three movies I don't like. And I used to see this game at the arcades when I went to the movies. And God, I wanted to play it and beat it so bad, but I could really never have enough quarters to get, you know, beyond level 1. You know, I was too busy looking at the game as opposed to playing it. But this was one of those games that I was just always wondering, man, why did this not come home? Why was this not on the Super NES or the Genesis or something? Well, since I played it here at home, I found out why. It's because it's dreadfully short. It's a quarter muncher, but it's also a very short one. But this is one of those games I always wanted to come home, just like X-Men. X-Men was a huge arcade hit, you know, from the 2-player, 4-player, 6-player. I mean, this was a big deal. And, you know, it has that music. It just I can hear it right now, and it takes me back to just sitting there when I'm out of quarters, staring at the machine, just like hoping someone will be like, hey, man, want to play? And give me some quarters. But again, this is another game that I'm thinking, man, why did this not come home? And I guess I can kind of see, you know, that this game is very fast and sprites everywhere, a lot going on, so I can see why it maybe didn't make it. But X-Men is just an unrivaled classic as far as, you know, multiplayer beat-em-ups go from that era. So this was another great one to find and get going on. And into some Sega territory, we have Arabian Fight. This one was another one that just grabbed your attention. You, whoa, what the hell is this? And you had to play it. It looked, you know, it looked fantastic and it was fun to play. But Arabian Fight, it never did come home, and I know a lot of folks that wish it did. And yes, you heard that correctly. This game is a Chinese game. I'm pretty sure it was most likely also in Japan, Korea, or whatnot, but this is essentially a Chinese fighting game. And it's really damn good. It's got a lot in common with Street Fighter 3, especially with some of the character designs and some of the animation levels. But it's definitely very creative. It's not just some kind of a clone. And it's a fighter that I wish I'd known about, again, 20 years ago, because it's very capable and very, very cool, and lots of fun to play as well. And again, just smart character animations and designs, good sound, good fighting styles and everything. It's just a hell of a fighting game, and I'm just kind of bummed out that I discovered it just now and not back in, say, 1999. You know, watching it and playing it, I mean, there's definitely a lot of familiar touches, but again, it's damn good. It's high quality. And, you know, here's some more Sega. This is one I'd never seen anywhere. Any arcade, any game list, whatever. This was brand new to me as far as I was concerned, and it's really, really weird. It doesn't look like a whole lot of fun to me. It looks like they were just trying something new with, you know, some scaling and pixels, whatever. It's just not my flavor and doesn't look that good, to be honest with you. So I've left it alone, but, you know, getting into some other things like some shooters are all over this machine. You name a major shooter, it's probably on here, except for like some of the, you know, the really rare and, you know, glass of champagne shooters. But, you know, they're all over the place on this, and I discovered a lot of new ones. Parodius, yeah, we all know what that is, but the arcade version is one thing. And speaking of arcades, you've got other shooters like this one here, and I'm telling you, it's just downright bizarre. You know, here you are in a little tiny ship fighting in the arcade, flying over the machines. It was definitely strange, but not as strange as Atari. I mean, look at Atari Go in '92 with all the digitized characters. That guy on the left, man, I'm pretty sure I've seen him in a movie somewhere. But yeah, stop the gangs, folks. These digitized characters, I mean, they're better than some of the ones you're used to seeing that age. But no, it's a beat 'em up. A Streets of Rages kind of a thing, and all digitized characters. So proceed to the hood, defeat the gang leaders for additional fighters, and let's move on from this one. But like I said, yeah, there's shooters all over the place on this machine. And many of them, again, I've never even heard of. And, some of them I look at and I play it and I wonder, it's like, man, why the hell did this not come, here stateside? But, we don't always have the answer for that. And I'm sure there are good reasons sometimes. Here's one that did, Marvel vs. Capcom. This is the arcade game. And, insert coins, so there it is. It's not my style of fighting game, but if it is, there it is. It's yours right here. But again, here's another Sega title, Sonic Boom. It's a top-down shooter, which is kind of rare for Sega. It's 1987. You didn't see this from Sega during that day or otherwise, but here's the Dreamcast logo, and what the hell's going on, I thought to myself. All right, so check it out. Not only are there lots of arcade games on this machine, there's a big dump of all kinds of ROMs. I mean, everything from Tekken 5, down to, the very Tempest, the first arcade games that were out there from Atari. But no, there's console games on here as well. And some I've never even played before. And that was kind of a surprise. N64 games and Sega Dreamcast games. So I don't look at that as, a rip-off of sorts. Here's an N64, flying around for you. I've never seen it before, but, you can just kind of recognize, with the graphic. Oh, by the way, yeah, this one I wanted to make sure my buddy Kevin knew that Road Rash was available on this machine. So that way he might actually let me bring it over and show it to him. Darius Burst, there was another console game only, actually. And obviously Choaniki. Speaking of bizarre, my goodness gracious. I don't think that I'm ever going to buy one of those. I mean, Majora's Mask. What? Now, granted, it's all in Japanese, but again, it was kind of a pleasant surprise to discover some console games built into this machine. So yeah, Zelda is on this machine, not Breath of the Wild, but Majora's Mask. And in case you're wondering, yes, Sonic is on the machine, so he's definitely down here. But anyway, yeah, they've got some PSP games that were Sonic-based, and the original Sonic the Hedgehog is also available on this fellow, so just in case you were wondering. October in Indianapolis is one of my favorite times and places. I mean, just every October I spend as much time outside as I can. And one of the changes this year was me pretty much taking a bunch of my extra collectibles and games and whatnot and putting them in this nice little corner I have going on. CRT televisions, a couple of them, and playing some Hyperdub in the background, and a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, a Sega Genesis, a PS2, all out here, just for watching movies and playing some old school games when I'm in the mood to hang out outside and it's not too cold. So, yeah. Obviously, I'm very comfortable out here, and I've always wanted like a garage corner like this.
Okay, bud. It's okay, Jasmine.
One of the things that was really attractive to me about the whole thing, I used to laugh off machines like that, like this. It's better to be purist and have the original machine. Well, you know what? It's like, for the Genesis, I've got an EverDrive. I also have a Mega SG. I'm going to get one of those new Duos. I don't always have to have the original system hooked up with this many adapters and wires with the newer televisions and whatnot. It's just easier for me to kind of keep it simple. And, with that arcade machine, and console machine down there, I guess the coolest part is that these are games I've never been able to really explore, play, research, and study, and just enjoy at home. They were always arcade games. And, it's like an arcade EverDrive, basically. And they're all just straight ROM dumps, but they're wonderful. And again, I gotta say, it's hard to believe it's already been 1 year since I opened shop with the Cross-Legged Collector. I know it's a weird name, but I'm kind of a weird guy, so it just made sense. And usually I'm sitting cross-legged, whether it be on the floor or on the couch when I'm spending a long time gaming. So yeah, the Cross-Legged Collector just kind of worked, and already 1 year. And 2020 obviously has gone by very quickly, thankfully, because it's just so damned rancid. But you know what? A lot of good stuff has happened besides kicking the table. you know, a lot has changed, a lot of it for the better, really. And this, like I said, this whole cross-legged collector persona and, you know, and gig that I'm doing, I mean, I don't really need, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm not trying to make any money off of it. You know, it's just fun for me to do, and so it's in my system, it's in my blood, it's in my chest, and to be able to get it out and actually have people watch it, whether it be 5 people or 500, you know, it means a great deal to me. And when I thought to myself, my God, it's already been a year since I started this nonsense, you know, whether it be on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube especially, you know, there was a part of me that was like, okay, you've had enough. Enough that you fooled around long enough, you know, 1 year. And then the other side of me, you know, the angel on the shoulder, thought, hey, wait a second, you know, do another one and make this one better. Pick up, you know, stuff you've learned and, you know, make less mistakes and come up with some good ideas. And I know, I just felt self-motivated to do it. So yeah, 1 more year, maybe more than that, but I'm definitely trying to kick off the latter end of 2020 with some good videos, some creative ideas, and some new tricks, and maybe some new guests. So yeah, 1 year, can you believe it? Thanks to all of you who have stuck around and are still right by my side with this nonsense, and hopefully I'll see you guys sooner than later. But yeah, 1 year, here comes year 2. Yeah, I almost forgot. Keep collecting.
No, not toilet paper.